point at me or something to let me know. Thank you. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Casual Hour, a podcast ostensibly about video games, but mostly about burning white-hot rage. I'm your host, Chase Kennecke.
You might want to get that looked at.
I like where this is going.
On today's show, I've got two fabulous co-hosts with me. One of them's name is Bobby Pease. Hello, Bobby.
Hello, how are you?
And then the other one is Johnny.
Hi.
That guy.
It's me.
It's Johnny.
I'd give him a last name, but he doesn't. Yeah.
Shit. Johnny shit.
Anyway, you're hearing my voice, which means we're doing a deep dive, and I get to host this one. I'm very excited. I had some ideas of what to do. You know, usually I've come in with show and tell pieces, which are fun. It's fun to show you guys some old Nintendo hardware that's totally obscure and forgettable. We've also done movie nights. We did King of Kong, which was really fun. I've got another idea for a movie night that we may do in the future.
The Wiz.
These are always a good time. Always a good time.
Yeah, but tonight we were having a conversation offline,
Off
through a
pod.
text chain, off pod. Yes, thank you. And it led to some thoughts. And and those thoughts led to us making a 32-team bracket because, you know, we're all about brackets these days. It's March Madness, motherfuckers.
Yes.
So that's what we're doing here. We have made a bracket, and we're going to figure out who the worst character in all of video games is tonight.
Should I pull it up?
Can I?
Yeah. Pull it up, Bobby.
This is a
Okay.
shiny new transition.
Nothing. I was just gonna
Ooh.
say. I feel like I know who is Victor the right word?
Maybe.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay.
Maybe.
I feel like I know.
I think we have a very strong number one seed. I will say these seeds are random. Like the seeds are random.
Yeah.
I mixed them all up just so we didn't know who our clear winner was. I think there's one character who inspired this all and is probably going to win. Just going to say probably going to win.
Yeah.
But
I've got a strong bet.
I think it will be interesting to see at least who number 2 is. And I think it'll be interesting to
Chase,
see
if you're not
our
first,
number
you're
one
last.
actually ends up being our number 1. Well, all these characters are really last if you think about it. Now, before we start, we are going to rag on all of these characters. Definitely one in particular, but we're going to rag on all these characters for multitude different reasons.
Yeah.
I do want to say hard work was put into these characters in one way or another.
Sure.
From designing them to voice acting them to rigging them to animating them. There was a lot of hard, good work that people put into these characters. And I don't want to discount that fact.
But
we are going to say these characters are bad. And in fact, we're going to say one of them is the worst. And
Yeah.
And know that comes from a place of love.
Yeah. We care enough about
Yes.
video games to call out things that we feel very strongly about.
But still, like I would say, in fact, I can look down this list and I can say some of these characters are from my very favorite video games ever.
Okay.
It's not to say
Yeah.
these are all bad games.
No.
It's not to say these are all bad characters, but one of them is the worst character.
And
We're
you
gonna find
gave me like some stipulations, like, hey, when I say pick this, it can't be like, don't necessarily do this.
Right. So a couple of little rules just to make it fair and fun. One, I think we just did one character per game. I don't even think there's anybody. There's 2 from the same series that I know. Actually, there's.
I don't think I picked. No, there's two. There's 2 from the same game.
There's 2 from literally the same game.
Yeah,
and you'll figure out why.
fine.
Yeah, they're bad. I mean, it's bad.
But that's more for comedic effect than it is for actual purposes. The other one that I think is big is these can't be characters that we hate because of things outside of the game.
Right.
So there one kind of example. I said no characters from licensed properties that showed up here. Like I wanted original video game characters. I allowed one And I allowed that one because the character is not liked because of the game, not because the character
It's Shaq
from
Fu, isn't it?
it's not Shaq Fu.
Damn
It's
it.
always been Shaq Fu.
But to your point though, we couldn't hate a character like Shaq Fu because we thought Shaq Fu was terrible or Kazan.
I would never think that. First of all,
it has to be that the character in the game was bad, not the character outside of the game being bad. So those are kind of our stipulations. We're going to be a little fluid on some of these things, but I think this will be a fun little debate that we'll go through here.
Yeah.
And I would encourage any of our Twitch audience here to let us know when we're going down these matchups who they might vote as the worst character of the two.
Yeah, we want to hear from chat.
Yeah, absolutely. We'd love to hear your voice, and it may influence us. Who knows? We'll see.
Except for one.
We've got except for one. One's probably going to win. I don't want to spoil anything, but there's a pretty strong number one. I would be shocked if that character did not take this whole thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've got 32 characters here. Let's jump right into it and start with our very first matchup. Bobby.
Yeah.
Who is that very first matchup?
Our very first matchup here is going to be let me move my screen here. Karth, I'm sorry. Onasi and Amy Rose.
You played this game.
Yeah, I just was reading it wrong.
That's fine. Karth Onasi from the classic game Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, and Amy Rose from Sonic shit.
Bad.
Let's talk about this a little bit. Who wants to say something about either one of these characters?
I think Karth's an asshole.
Yeah,
why do you say that?
What?
An asshole.
Yeah, he's borderline. He's a bigot. First of all, he's borderline. I don't want to say he's racist, but he's
not Ashley Williams.
Would he vote for Trump?
No.
Yeah. He's a proud. Karth Onasi is a proud boy.
He's a proud boy.
No, these are no. Now you're just throwing slander. Okay. I think Karth wants to do the right thing. I think he's too much of a goody at what he does. He's no fun, and he wants to play things straight. He is lawful good, and it's just boring. He makes you be lawful good, and that sucks.
Because I've not played all of KOTOR, but is he someone that eventually, like, if you do enough things he disagrees with, he will leave your party?
You can definitely get him to leave. He gets super pissed off at you.
Yeah, there's some stuff you can do.
Okay.
You can be like, and he'll take, in his defense, he'll take a lot of shit before he goes. I mean, you can basically just wipe your feet all over this guy before he goes. So he is loyal, if anything. And I give it
like annoying about it though. Like if you're somebody he disagrees with,
I found him annoying the time I spent with the game. The other character I have zero experience with, so I have no frame of reference.
Yeah, I mean,
Amy, you mean?
Amy, I remember her. I think she was in that Sega Dreamcast Sonic game, right? Sonic Adventure.
She's definitely in Sonic Adventure 2. I don't know if she's in Sonic Adventure 1.
Okay. I only ever played the first one.
Actually, she is. I know she is. That's when she gets her makeover. One last thing about Karth Onasi. We put in Karth over Caden Alenko, even though they have the same voice actor and similar vibes. I think you could have put Caden Alenko in here. We have a different Mass Effect character in this list. And I think Caden actually stands up better because Ashley is such a space racist that it makes Caden's boring ass bullshit somewhat bearable compared to what else you have.
Well, you're jumping games at this point in time, right?
What?
You went from KOTOR to Mass Effect.
Yeah, but he's voiced by the same character.
Yeah.
That was my point. Karth Onasi and Caden Alenko, same basic character, same voice actor. But I'm saying why we picked one, because Caden Alenko isn't on this list. There's a different Mass Effect character here. And it's also not Ashley, even though Ashley super sucks.
So Karth, not great.
And the problem is there's a really good cast around Karth. I think a lot of the other characters in KOTOR are great, which makes
Yeah,
Karth even
totally.
worse, especially because he is your first party member and he's with you all the time and he sucks all the time.
So does Karth win this
No,
season?
we need to talk about Amy. You guys don't have much to say about Amy, but I do, because I think I've admitted this on the podcast before, but I've read a lot of the Archie Sonic comic book.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a great thing to talk about.
I'm not saying I'm proud of it. I'm just saying I have, and I know a lot of things about Amy Rose.
Sure.
I've also played a number of the games she's been in. Played Sonic CD, her first entry. I played Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, which is great,
right?
And also terrible, but also great. Amy, I think Amy gets a bad rap. Amy is another one of those people who's like, oh, it's just Sonic, one of Sonic's friends, which means they're bad. Everybody hates Sonic's friends. Sonic's
Johnny,
great.
Does anybody besides Knuckles and Tails matter?
No.
See, that's the attitude.
That's the truth. Attitude. That's the truth.
Not the truth.
Don't try and bring your weird Sonic fandom into this.
Yeah. We don't need any of that BCE right now. We need to break some hearts.
I'm just gonna say Amy is annoying. I don't love her, but she is. I think she is unfairly put upon. Does
she whisper in Sonic's ear every bad decision he makes? Does she make it known every bad decision? Does she try to sway Sonic from making bad decisions?
Oh, so look at what you're arguing for, though. You're arguing that Karth should go above Amy. You think Amy's a better character than Karth. Is this what you're saying?
I'm saying that Karth does some pretty rotten things. Annoyingly things.
I'm fine with this. I just wanted to say my piece that I actually don't think Amy Rose is all that bad of a character. She is not Sonic's canonical girlfriend. That's obviously Princess Sally Acorn. We all know.
I would say that she's less annoying than Karth. Like, she's designed to be annoying, so I'll give her that. But she doesn't disrupt as much as Onasi does here.
All right. We're gonna say Karth is the winner here. Did we have any buddy on our on the Twitch chat say differently? Anybody want to make a case for Amy?
The only thing, they were both called pretty useless in chat, so we've got that going, which fair.
That I think is fair. I think that is a fair statement. All right, Karth Onasi, congratulations. You're moving on.
You are still annoying.
Our next matchup here is Morgana from Persona 5 and 343 Guilty Spark from the Halo franchise. Bobby, I believe this is the one that your wife looked at and went, "Aw."
No.
Am I correct? No, it wasn't Morgana.
No,
I thought it'd be Morgana.
No.
All right. Good.
So I'm not familiar too much with 343. That was a later.
I know which one it is now.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. I'll give you a second try. I definitely am familiar with Morgana. And boy, howdy, Morgana can fuck right off. Because
hey, I think you should go to bed.
Johnny, as our resident Bungie historian, would you please tell us more about 343 Guilty Spark?
God
damn it, Johnny. You're the Bungie historian. You should know everything about 343 Guilty Spark.
Chat says Guilty Spark is an asshole, and that's an easy pick.
I see. Yeah. See? Johnny, do you have nothing to say? Do I have to do this by myself? Do I have to tell you why 343 Guilty Spark sucks?
It's been so long since I played the campaign games.
Damn it, Johnny.
So long.
You had one job. You had one job to know stuff about Bungie.
I'll say this. I remember this character. I remember being, a little annoying.
Wow.
I think Morgana is way more irritating.
All right, so let's give him a fair shake here. 343 Guilty Spark, I would say does suck. He is on one hand just doing his job the whole time. He's doing exactly what he was programmed to do, which is wipe out all life in the entire universe. So the flood will starve to death. It's what he's supposed to do. It still sucks the way he goes about it. He does get captured by the brutes at one point. He's kind of used against his will a little bit.
This sounds like it contradicts your rules, though.
What?
that we weren't supposed to pick somebody who was a dick by design.
I think you're changing it a little bit, though. I'm saying a dick by design.
I didn't make the rules.
No. I mean a dick by design from the developers. Like the developers wanted you to hate this character.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that sounds to be the case here.
You don't think that was their intent?
A little bit, but I think maybe we're saying that. I don't know. I think Guilty Spark sucks, but
sure.
I think Morgana is worse. I'm agreeing. I think Morgana wins this category, hands down.
I think
but
just
I did want to make the case for Guilty Spark before we.
Fair. Here's a few things for me. I think that Morgana is a really strong reason for people to bounce off of Persona 5 because of the limitations, especially early on. And
it's in the way of having fun.
Okay, so Guilty Spark clearly has a personality and it's being a giant douche from the chat. I think that Morgana, from what I'm hearing from everybody here, I would agree with that. Morgana legitimately like slows the game down to a halt, doesn't let you do things that you'd want to do, like from an annoyance and like from an overall like progression standpoint in the game. Like Morgana can really disrupt, I think, more than just an asshole or a douche robot, in my opinion.
So here's what seals it for me is Persona 5 Royal, which is a game I still have not played despite owning. Atlas did tone. Yeah, I did forget I owned it. Atlas said they toned down the Morgana telling you to go to bed,
which
at the beginning of the game part,
so
which is an admission of guilt. Yeah, an admission that like, we fucked up on this character. I still think so. Here's the case that I would say that maybe Morgana isn't as bad as we think, because Morgana basically just comes from being Teddy. Like we had this character in Teddy in Persona 4. Morgana plays in a very similar space and does very similar things.
I like Teddy.
I also kind of like Teddy, which is why I put Morgana on this list instead of Teddy, because I'm actually kind of okay with Teddy. And the things he does that suck, Morgana does suckier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the little bit that I played of Persona 4 versus 5, Morgana's with you more often than Teddy is.
Yeah, Teddy's a later, and not a late game character, but he's a later game character in Persona 4, whereas Morgana is with you quite instantly.
Yeah.
And I don't like any of Morgana's forms. I don't like Cat Morgana. I don't like cartoon Morgana. I don't like Morgana's Zoro persona.
Yeah.
I don't like
fuck
the way Morgana says
Morgana.
Lady On. I appreciate the chat jumping in and giving us a reason to say 343. I think Morgana wins this one.
Yep, I feel good about that.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Put that down.
So goodbye, Guilty Spark. We hardly knew thee, especially you, Johnny. And we'll be moving on to the next one.
The next one, this one's going to be a little bit fun. We have, hey guys, please, Johnny. Hey, listen, it's Navi. It's Navi from.
Listen.
Time. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's her. And the other one is Ashley Graham from Resident Evil 4.
This isn't even close for me.
Well, you haven't played Resident Evil 4.
Yes, I have. I've beaten it.
Oh, you have? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Great. Good. I have not played Resident Evil 4. I thought you were just going to say Navi because that's the only one you played.
No.
But please, you're the expert. Tell us about both.
There's a character that we'll talk about in a little bit from. I don't want to like spill the beans here, but Navi is not the most annoying character.
We do have 2 Ocarina characters on here. I forgot about that.
I think Ashley is a dull personality. Yeah. I think that she is not there to do anything besides obstruct you from getting your way. Navi is doing its best job to help you out, and it's inherently good. Ashley is just it's legitimately like she is in the way nonstop. It's just there as a mechanic in the game, an annoyance.
Navi is there. Yeah, she's there to assist the hero on his journey. The way that she interjects can sometimes, be a little irritating.
Mm-hmm. And the last point I'll make, I'm getting my tiny mic out because I'm excited. the Johnny's ready. Like most recently in the last 2 to 3 years, there's been a lot of sampling of Navi and some really good lo-fi music. And like, so what was considered to be annoying was that, hey, listen, that sampling has been used in some really great things now. So I think people have warmed up that the only reason that people are really hard on Navi is just like the persistence. Like, and it is a disruption for sure, but it's a disruption because it's trying to help you with something, where Ashley's disruption is just a shitty fucking MacGuffin mechanic in this game to move plot points around.
Yeah, Ashley is a walking escort mission, which makes her bad. Like, escort missions are the things we all hate. Obviously, a character that embodies that is going to be pretty bad. I will say, Navi, though, is a character that I think has continued to reverberate through especially Zelda titles, but Nintendo titles in general.
Yeah, for sure.
That are bad. Like, I think it started a bad trope that continues to be bad, and we'll see other characters on this list who do similar things. Of, we are your navigator, and we are going to be annoying and in your grill the entire time. And I think almost all of that pays homage to Navi being an annoying little shit the entire game.
Sure. And look, Ashley,
I'm fine saying Ashley's worse than Navi. I'm saying that Navi has maybe far further reaching effects with her badness than Ashley did from her bad.
And Ashley is also, like, to your point with Navi being a trope that's continued, like, Ashley is the continuation of these tropes before, like from prior generations. And I think that she's not even the worst offender at what she does here. She's just really bad at what she does here, for sure.
And I think maybe the other problem is that, like, Resident Evil 4 is a game that people really like.
Yes.
And outside of Ashley, have very few bad things to say about it. And, I think Ocarina of Time, obviously one of the greatest games of all time that people consider. And I don't think Navi, as much as she's annoying, she doesn't diminish Ocarina of Time like Ashley diminishes.
Yeah,
right.
It was a button prompt. I could quickly open it, close it, and go back to my business.
You got to be careful with some of those button prompts, from what I hear. Yeah, especially in Zelda.
And is Ashley supposed to be 30 or 13? I can't remember. Like,
she's a teenager.
She's a teen. Okay.
She's a teenager. She's the president's daughter.
That's right. Okay.
So she's supposed to be an annoying little shit.
In this Spanish village for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, you can be an annoying little shit, but also you don't have to be that much of an annoying shit.
It's rough. It is rough.
All right, Bobby, would you like to read off the next group of nominees?
Sure. Up next, we have your friend and mine, Bubsy, and Cal Kestis from Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Bubsy, famously from Bubsy. All you need to know. It's names on the box.
I don't have a lot of experience with Bubsy, and I think that this is it's interesting because, again, I think that this one kind of goes. I'm not mad that this person's on the list. With Cal. Let me pull Cal up here. I'm not mad, and I tried to put a particular picture here for Chase.
Look at that white bread loser, dorky ass motherfucker.
So I think that
you might as well just put up a picture of Johnny.
How is it a contest?
It's
Bubsy
not.
Bubsy is a piece of shit.
Bubsy sucks.
I mean, just because.
All right, hang on.
What, Johnny? No. I want to hear what Johnny's trying to argue here. What's your argument?
So chat is also saying the sight of Bubsy is infuriating.
Yes, it's offensive. And Cal, the trauma that he went through and the journey that you go on with him.
Here's something I can put this one to rest. The only reason that this person's on the list, if Cal Kestis, I'll pull him back up here, was played by anybody else, any
punchable face in the galaxy,
any other actor, Chase wouldn't give two shits.
Exactly.
But Chase doesn't like the real life actor that is here. And so the character of Cal Kestis is actually really good. You don't like the performance.
I would never know.
Yes.
And you don't like the actor.
Okay, Bobby, if I made you a delightful ice cream cake that has all of your favorite flavors, and then I also just put a tiny little dog turd on the top of it, would you eat that ice cream cake? No, you wouldn't, because it's ruined. It was ruined by something so awful that even the good stuff
Chase, you're out of your element.
impossible to take.
Bubsy wins this category.
It's Bubsy.
No
It's Bubsy by Country
Bubsy
Mile.
wins this category. No, I'm with you. Bubsy wins this category.
But he had to get his
fucking sucks.
We got to get Cal his due, right?
He's the worst.
And Chad also brought up Bubsy had several sequels.
Oh yeah, Bubsy's terrible. We barely even had to say Bubsy before we knew Bubsy won this category. I'm just saying, Cal Kestis.
Let's just get one more peek at Bubsy.
Sucks. Oh yeah, Bubsy's terrible.
What a smug little shithead. What a smug.
Talk more about Bubsy.
Look at his. What a piece of shit.
In the next round.
All right,
but I just want to say, Cal Kestis, pretty bad. Pretty bad.
No, he's a great character. I don't know.
He's really not.
Who we got next here?
Dorky ass, dumbass. Number. What is this? Our fifth matchup? Yeah, fifth matchup here. Aiden Pierce from Watch Dogs.
And God.
Claptrap from the Borderlands franchise.
Oh, this is okay.
In my opinion, in my humble opinion, the Rubber Boys has just met the road for this one.
Yeah. Because one of these characters is an absolute monster, and the other one's Aiden Pierce.
Yeah, okay.
No, they're both awful.
I think
I
the
haven't played
argument...
Watch Dogs 1. Johnny, you're the one who's played Watch Dogs, correct?
Yeah, I played almost all of that game, and Aiden Pierce fucking sucks. He's
an edgelord.
Oh, and I think the thing that might make him beat out Claptrap for me is that he is like, there's no escaping Aiden Pierce as long as you are playing Watch Dogs, because he is the protagonist. Claptrap is this not coincidental, but this character that you're not interacting with throughout the game. Like,
he shows up a lot.
He does. I've also never played.
He's not your protagonist, though. I'll give you that.
Yeah, I've played Borderlands 1 and 2, but
so you played one good game.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's crazy about this?
Go ahead. Sorry.
I don't know anybody. I literally don't know anybody who'd be like, that Aiden's all right. He gets a bad rap. I haven't met one person that said Aiden's a good person, or they enjoyed it. There is and I'm not saying this makes it right or wrong, but there is a very dedicated base of people who think Claptrap is great.
I feel like we're getting into like Rick and Morty territory.
And chat says Claptrap saved people.
I mean, Aiden Pierce technically saved somebody, probably somewhere.
I would say Claptrap is, if we're going to talk about like ruining a series, it wasn't Claptrap that did it for Borderlands. I can tell you that much right now. And
I think that character is not in Borderlands 1.
And
Claptrap is.
Aiden damn near ruined an entirely new series. I mean, they completely changed the game up based off of how bad he was.
I had to excise that character. Yeah, totally. I'll admit that I have laughed at least one Claptrap joke, which I guess by default means Claptrap is better than Aiden Pierce.
Yeah, I did not hate him in that first game.
Yeah.
I still hated him in that first game, but Aiden Pierce wins. Also, Aiden Pierce wins because he's the only character that forced me to go back through this bracket and make an edit because I spelled his name wrong because he spells his name in such a dumbass way. Fuck you, Aiden Pierce.
Marcus from Watch Dogs 2, far superior character. I like Marcus.
Much better.
I haven't played either of those games, and I would tell you that. Our next matchup is Whisper from Fable.
Oh, God.
The original Fable. And Eric Sparrow from Tony Hawk's Underground.
Oh.
I think these are probably two of the least known characters on this entire list, if I would have to guess. When Bobby's the one who nominated Whisper, and even I, a Fable fan, Fable 1 fan, sorry, a Fable 1 fan, I was like, who the fuck is Whisper? And then I had to look it up, and it's like, oh yeah, she's the best friend with the stick who is your rival, but also kind of Bobby, you nominated her. What's up with Whisper?
She sucks, first and foremost. She's such an annoying fucking, like, I'm not opposed to rivals in games, right? I've played all the Pokemon games and I get it. Like there's an intention there. It's just the way that they wrote her to be like so brooding at, like, depending on how you play the game, especially, like there's a definite difference in how she approaches it. But her like the whole farm boy shit is just so annoying. And like she's constantly dogging on you from where you came from, and she's always looking for a leg up in combat. I think that she's highly, like, it's obvious that they set it up to where you're supposed to be annoyed by her. Like, so on one hand, like, this is an intentional trope by Peter God damn it, what's his name? Molyneux. Like, him and his team obviously knew what they were doing here. I don't know a lot about the other character that's on here, but I can tell you, if I'm just going off of like first impressions, this guy looks like a real shitbag. And so
okay, here's the thing. Eric Sparrow is maybe the most evil character in all of video games, but I don't think he's the worst, because to your point about intention with Whisper, Eric Sparrow is intended to be the absolute worst piece of shit you could possibly know. He is your childhood friend. You're growing up skating with him. He just gets you into so much trouble. Like, you're just trying to be a good skater. You're trying to impress Chad Muska. And then this guy's like, oh, what if we just stole this shit from these drug dealers? And then also, what if we set their house on fire? It's like, dude, we did not need to escalate it this much. And then he makes you leave town with him because you're being chased by these fucking tweakers. And so then he just, so many different times in the game, he tries to screw you. The biggest one being, you do this amazing trick. You do a McTwist off the top of this hotel, and he's the one videotaping it. And the cops are there. There's a police helicopter's there, and you actually do the McTwist over this police helicopter as you run away, and he gets it on video. And then you're both like running away from the cops. And while he's laying low, he edits the video to make it look like he's the one who did the jump. And then he gets a giant skating deal because of that. He gets a big sponsorship because he stole your big moment. And he's just a piece of shit, but he's written to be a piece of shit. And that's why I think Whisper ends up winning this category. But Eric Sparrow is the most evil character in all of video games. And I'll take that to my grave. Okay.
I think that you make a persuasive argument for the other person, but if you check that link I put in there of an illustration of Eric Sparrow dabbing, I feel like that is an argument in my favor.
Eric Sparrow did not mean to dab. Somebody forced him to dab. Again, that's intention. Intention does not count.
Okay. Yeah, I think Eric Sparrow was supposed to be bad. So Whisper wins this, right?
I think Whisper wins. I don't feel super strongly about either of these characters, because I think your point about intentionality for both of these characters is true. I just think Sparrow is more intentional with how much of a shitbag he is, and Whisper on occasion is supposed to not be so bad. Like, at one point in the game, you beat Whisper and you get the choice of whether to kill her or not.
Right.
And I think them giving you a choice means the developers are like, she wasn't all bad, right? And it's like, no, she kind of was. But you're telling me the good choice is not to kill her, so I guess I won't do that.
Right.
Even though
Farm
I
boy.
don't want to, because she kind of super sucks. So yeah, I think Whisper takes it from that.
Okay.
Speaking of shitbags, Chase.
Yes, and rivals. We've got our next matchup here features both Duke Nukem versus Silver, or Rival from Pokemon Gold and Silver.
Okay, can I throw my hat in the ring here?
Yes.
Duke Nukem fucking sucks, and he should win this with flying colors.
Is he intended to suck, though?
No.
Yes.
He's meant to be the coolest motherfucker you've ever seen in your life.
See, I think it's both. I think he's both intended to suck and then also they fucked up making him suck to just make him suck worse by accident.
If there was a right guard speed stick that fell into a fucking porta potty in the middle of the desert at 100+ degree heat, that's what I think Duke Nukem would smell like. Just fucking spoiled Axe body spray. Like, this piece of shit. I hate everything about it. I hate
Bobby, he has balls of steel.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. Like, this machismo fucking dick, and like he should win this. He absolutely should win this. But he was written in a way to embody what this like fantasized like male persona would be, and then it became tongue in cheek where they're like, oh well, we're just gonna lean into it. It's kind of like the Deadpool shit for me. Like, it's way too much of that. Like, it's way too much of like he's gonna be this quirky fucking thing towards this whole persona. And like with Duke Nukem, like the fucking name to begin with is like iconic at that point in time. But this piece of shit, like pulling out shit from toilets, pissing all over fucking whiteboards, like you can't tell me that they didn't know. Like chat says, he says what he means at least. Like he totally ripped off that alien's head and took a shit down his neck. Like he does that, and you're supposed to enjoy it. I think that for a lot of people, they probably get really fucking jacked from playing this game. Where other people are just like,
and his voice actor, I forgot his name,
John St. John.
John St. John, thank you. To his credit, does an incredible job of making him exactly as bad as he's supposed to be. So like there is some intentionality to how this character is supposed to be awful. And maybe that changed. Maybe it changed over time. Like some Duke Nukem 3D, I think he was supposed to be kind of cool. And then you get to something like Duke Nukem Forever, and there's enough jokes and there's enough bullshit around that like there's something about like, oh yeah, he's like a parody, right? And like he's not though. He's not, and he is.
His personality is the nutsack that hangs off the back of lifted trucks.
But hey, they're made of steel.
He would have been in the Capitol on January 6th.
Yes.
Oh, that's yikes.
Yes.
Oh God. A lot more people would have died.
Silver is annoying, but he is written like he's supposed to be your rival. You're not supposed to,
He is. I think my problem with Silver.
Yeah.
I think my problem with Silver is that he doesn't talk. I mean, he's a dirtbag, but he is silent for most of the game, or like really.
Yeah, man, but he pushes you away from that window in the very beginning of the game.
And what a dick move.
Let's see, was I 12?
He's too busy kicking ET's ass. Chat says.
But see, like Gary Oak is fun. He is a mouthy little brat, and there's something great about that. In a rival, like he makes me hate him. He makes me want to go after him because he's just such a dick. And Silver just like did a shitty thing. He stole a Pokemon, and that sucks. And he's intentionally bad, but also like I just don't find him fun to fight because at one point I just kind of forget all about him. Like 100 hours in the game. Oh yeah, you stole that Pokemon and nobody cares, but I guess you're still my rival. Whereas Gary Oak comes back in again and again to remind you, smell you later,
you ain't shit,
you piece of shit. And like, I still want to kick your ass time and time again. Whereas Silver, eventually I'm just like, dude, this is sad. You're just not as good as me.
Yeah.
And I think he's a worse rival because of that, which makes me think he kind of sucks. But
they're both sucks. Duke Nukem sucks, and Duke Nukem should win here, in my opinion. But because they're both written to be an annoyance. One more so than the other, slightly. Like I think the original Duke Nukem was not written to be that way, but I think later on for sure.
No, the people writing lines for him are like, yeah, he's fucking awesome. He's who every man wants to be. Is this machismo, gets all the ladies, smokes big cigars. Like he's a piece of shit, and he takes this without question.
Okay,
this game.
I can get on board with that.
Right.
Duke Nukem.
All right, Duke Nukem is our winner. He does have balls of steel, though. You got it.
This next one.
Yeah, Bobby, why don't you read off this next one?
Should I scroll? Yes. No.
Yeah, please.
Did
Please do.
Did you get all
I'm the
that?
only one left in.
I can't see the Twitch chat, so I don't know what's being shown.
Did you get
tell
all
us
that? Should I scroll? Yes or no? Did you get all that?
Oh, okay. I see what you're doing now. Okay. Yeah, fun. Good.
Great.
Say the name.
Thank you.
Say the name, Bobby.
Up next, we have the one and only Damal Kapora from Ocarina of Time, and up against
his name.
What's that?
You didn't even say his full name.
Gabora. And
Gabora. Yeah.
And then we have behind him Chico,
character you know and love.
Chico.
Okay, I'm gonna have to explain Chico. Chico is from Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker and also Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes.
Oh, Chico.
Yeah, if you remember Chico there. You'll remember Chico when I tell you something about him from Ground Zeroes if you played that. But yes, that damn owl, Gabora, he sucks. I think I've told this story a number of times on the podcast, but I have not played Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time all the way through because for a long time I didn't own it. I went over to my friend's place
because you couldn't get past this dialogue box.
Well, no, very funny. No, I had a friend across the street who had an N64, and I would play the first stage of Super Mario 64 a lot. I would throw that bomb off that mountain time and time again, and then it would be time for me to go home, and then my save would get erased, and I'd have to go back over and play it all over again. And the same thing would happen with Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. I would get through the beginning part, I'd get through that dungeon, I'd get to the I'd go through like the stealth part, and you meet up with Gabora. I think he's before the stealth part. Is that right? Like as you're going to the castle. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'd always have to see that fucking owl and his bullshit dialogue and the absolute worst design decision to make the first choice the choice to say all that shit again.
Yep.
Like the only reason we do not like this owl is because of that one design decision.
Now the chat does say
is just a bad design intention. What?
The owl is just doing his job. It's not the fault the player isn't paying attention and following directions.
All right. I respect that. But I think it leads to bad design. And I think bad design is not an intentionality thing. It just makes that owl bad.
Now, Chase, I was putting together these photos for the stream tonight, and I was going through them like, okay, yeah. I didn't know some of them. I came across this photo, and I got angry. I don't
see the photos.
It's Chico.
Oh, it's Chico? Yeah.
And I wanted to punch this little thing in the face. I can tell you why.
And you just saw him. You haven't even heard him. You haven't even heard him. And that I think is the real problem. So Chico, Johnny, thinking about it more, do you know who Chico is at all? Do I have to?
I played a lot of Ground Zeroes. I feel like I remember seeing this character, but I don't remember what it was that made him so annoying.
You probably have seen him without the hat and with a headphone jack in his chest. He's the guy you get to who's in the cage and that headphone jack in his chest.
Why?
Why? Because he sucks. That's why. He got himself in trouble because he's a dumbass. Anyway, we have to go back a little ways to Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, which is a fantastic game. It is the most slept on Metal Gear game because it came out on the PSP. It's so good, and it's out for other consoles now. You can get it on big boy consoles. It looks great, plays great. You should play Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker.
I was thinking about getting a Vita.
You should still get a Vita, but also you absolutely shouldn't. Chico is just another one of your people that you talk to on the codex. You meet him and his sister. His sister is great. Her name is Amanda. She is leading a bunch of revolutionaries in South America. Awesome. She's fantastic. But then she's got this little brother Chico, who wanders off all the time, goes in the jungle, thinks he's a big man, who wants to be a big military man like Snake, like his father, like El Che, and he's just not. He's just a young, shitty, dumbass kid, and he just gets himself captured time and time again in that game. He gets captured at one point and gives up some information to the enemy that really fucks you over, and you come to save his ass out of a jail cell. Not in Ground Zeroes. That's a different time that you have to save his ass out of a jail cell. And at that point, he tells you, like, the one nice thing that he does is he says, "You should just kill me. Like, I don't deserve to die. I don't deserve to live. Just shoot me." And so
yes.
and you should have. And Snake shoots him, but he shoots a photo of him. And he's like, "Well, there it is. I shot you. So now you're a new person." And dumb. It's very dumb.
So,
Chico continues to be a little dumbass kid on your codex all the time. He goes through he really likes cryptozoology. And the one decent part about Chico is that in Peace Walker, you'll eventually unlock the Monster Hunter missions. You guys like Monster Hunter, right? You guys are big Monster Hunter fans. There are Monster Hunter missions in Peace Walker where you fight a fucking Rathalos, like a real fucking Rathalos. Yeah, it's great. And Chico's the one who is like your voice on the radio for that, because he knows all about these weird creatures that show up in South America. So you fight a bunch of Monster Hunter characters with fucking Solid Snake, and it's the best. It's the best. Ah, it's so good. Or sorry, not Solid Snake, Big Boss, but you know, same thing.
Chat does say also we shouldn't blame the owl for the devs trolling players because owls are super cool, which I agree with. Owls are great.
Yes, owls are fine. Chico sucks. He falls in love with this girl who betrays the entire camp in Peace Walker, and then in Ground Zeroes, he decides, you know what, she was evil, but I still want her to be my girlfriend, so I'm going to go try to save her from another base because I think I'm Solid Snake. And he's like, "You're not fucking Solid Snake," and he gets himself captured. And then, I don't remember exactly why he got a headphone jack in his chest, but he sucks. He sucks so much. He gives up so much information to the enemies. He's a piece of shit. I hate Chico. He's
well,
awful.
I hate the owl from Zelda. Johnny, I know you hate the owl from Zelda. I don't know enough about Chico, so I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to do here. Chico sounds pretty shitty. Also sounds kind of like he was written that way.
Oh, I don't know if they intended him to be that shitty. I can kind of go either way. I get the owl. I appreciate what chat's saying though. I think that makes a lot of sense.
Send Chico forward.
In a lot of ways, that owl is just fine.
Okay.
It's one bad design decision, which is a bad design decision.
Yeah. It's terrible. But
Chico is shitty for an extremely long time over a multiple game. Something to consider. Moving on, we have Baby Mario from Yoshi's Island, among other games, but I think Yoshi's Island is the bad one, if we're gonna say. And everybody's favorite, Zipper from Animal Crossing: New Horizons. I think the newest character from. Nope, actually, that's wrong. Not the newest character on this list. Second newest.
Just real quickly, Owl, he's like Jessica Rabbit. He's not bad. He's just drawn that way. Right?
Okay, thanks, Johnny. So Baby Mario is on this list because of the cry, because of one sound effect.
And it's terrible. And it's grating.
Terrible.
It
makes Yoshi's Island, which is one of the best games with Mario in it. Notice I didn't say one of the best Mario games. It is one of the best games with Mario in it. And yet, God damn it, that kid cries all the time. It sucks. Actually, you know what? He doesn't cry all the time if you're good at the game and never get hit. But
and chat says, to be fair, he is a baby.
This isn't about fair.
No.
I don't think that this is even close when it comes to annoyance. And let me just say this. Fucking Zipper is creepy with dead fucking eyes, first of all. And Monster Hunter. Animal Crossing that just came out and everybody was riding this high. We were all fucking stuck in. This was like early quarantine, like when you used to wipe down groceries quarantine, and nobody knew what the hell was going on. Everybody's freaking out, and we finally felt good.
Quarantine classic.
This is a classic quarantine. Everybody's feeling pretty fucking good because Animal Crossing comes out and makes you feel like you have some sort of normalcy in your life, and things are looking good. And all of a sudden, you're like, "Oh, I'm getting presents. Wow, there sure are a lot of presents in the air." And all of a sudden, there's 50,000 fucking eggs. You want to shake a tree? There's an egg. You want to dig a hole? There's an egg. You want to fucking shoot a present? There's an egg. You see, the game got so knocked off that Zipper completely derailed the momentum to the point where people, like, there's people I know that said, I'm out. I'm out after, like, they stopped playing it because of this fucking rabbit.
Yeah. Look, I
this
posted
is
a link
when
to a photo. Look at those dead fucking eyes of that rabbit. There's nothing behind them. That's probably Patrick Bateman in a bunny outfit.
I think Zipper's fine. I think you guys blew it way out of proportion.
No.
Yes, the eggs were kind of annoying for a little while. There was still plenty of game to play. It wasn't a big deal.
No, Chase. It was the worst thing they did in Animal Crossing.
Yes, I'd agree with that. But also, Animal Crossing was my number one game last year. So
clearly psychotic.
Zipper goes forward.
All right.
I'm so upset. I don't even remember who the other one was.
Baby Mario. I think we're making a mistake, but okay. I'll allow Zipper. And we do have Easter coming up again real soon. You're gonna get to see Zipper.
Let's see if they learned their lesson.
I don't think they have. I think it's going to be exactly the same.
Nintendo.
I don't think they've changed a single thing about it. We'll see. All right. Next up, we have Aerie from Bravely Default and Natalia Simonova from 007 GoldenEye. So this is the one I allowed. Natalia, is from a movie, obviously. I don't know why you switched the photo I had. I had a different photo that was fine of Natalia, and you decided to get weird gorilla Natalia. I don't know where you pulled that shit up from. That's not me.
Big head mode.
I couldn't get the picture.
It's not just big head mode. Like big arm, big shoulders. Like that is not just big head mode. That is a clearly doctored photo. I don't appreciate it.
I couldn't get your picture to work. I had to find one. And this is the first one. I just typed in Natalia annoying.
Anyway, so Natalia is on the list, a special allowance because her character in the movie is fine. It is specifically her character as the video game character that is the problem. And very similar to Ashley Graham, it is all escort mission. If you see Natalia, it is escort mission, and it sucks. She drags you down in multiple situations. That game can be played extremely quickly, but there are parts where you just have to slow down to wait for her, to protect her while she's doing some hacking, to do all this bullshit, and it's not great. It's really
I think this is one of the first times that I developed like pure hatred for a character in a video game. Like I just like I hated everything about this character in the game, and when I was talking about Ashley continuing that trope, like that's what I was alluding to.
Natalia built that road that Ashley drives on. Absolutely.
Yep. I don't. Okay, so look, man.
You guys didn't play why the butterfly lady is bad.
You're gonna have to sell it.
I'm not going to be able to sell it well enough, but I do want to say my piece. We've mentioned it a number of times on this podcast. Have I actually spoiled the ending of Bravely Default?
Yep, a couple of times.
Okay, so people know about it. The original title is Bravely Default Flying Fairy. At a climactic point near the end of the game, they show the title screen again. They take away some letters, and it's actually Bravely Default Lying Aerie. Oh, look at what we did. And it's that your companion, basically your Navi the entire time. Although I would say she's actually relatively okay during the course of the game. Not annoying fairy character like some of them have been. But
is she a butterfly?
She's like, yeah, she is. Yeah. Okay. At some point she's like, oh, actually I'm the evil one. and she's like the second in command for the real true ending boss of the game, and you have to fight her, and she goes into like some weird chrysalis mode and turns into a big monster. She sucks. She sucks in that you find out in the entire game she has been trying to lead you to the worst possible outcomes, and she's just been trying to off you by accident, and so she's awful. She just super sucks. It's a really shitty thing to do. It is more of an intentionality thing. So I think Natalia probably wins this category. But
Sure.
every time I think about going back and playing Bravely Default, which is a lot, God, I just
It's her
I think
that
it's
does
more
it.
I think it's more annoying of just the really bad twist of the name. If the box art name thing wasn't so stupid, I'd probably be more okay with it. And then for them to do it again in Bravely Second, which is fucked. Fuck that.
Isn't wait, that's Bravely Second, not Bravely.
Is not the same as Bravely Default 2. No. Those
Okay.
are two different games. I can see why you'd be confused because it's stupid. But those are two separate games.
Yeah. That's anime.
So where do we land on this one?
It's Natalia. Natalia wins. Like it makes sense. Moving on, we have a Pokemon pick. Avery from Pokemon Sword and Shield DLC 1, the Isle of Armor, and Paimon from Genshin Impact. And I believe Paimon is actually our newest character. Yes, she is our latest character of any of these.
When I first heard about this game, it was Genshin. Sorry, Genshin Impact. There was a very strong case being made by you, Chase, for how terrible Paimon was, all things considered, with this here. And I took it for what it was. I was like, all right, like Chase seems to be pretty upset about this. I don't know a lot about it. And then I was like, I can play Genshin Impact. This is going to cost me nothing. It's supposed to be a Breath of the Wild clone. And holy shit, Chase was right. Paimon is fucking rough.
I know there are Paimon defenders out there. I do not understand them. She's got a bad voice. Maybe they're playing in Japanese. I don't know. Her English voice actor does a really great job at making her a shitty, annoying fairy type.
Yeah, it's not great.
And I think a lot of it is more on the writing. There is some really bad writing for Paimon. I believe there is a line of like Paimon's just trying to say, "Oh, I'm just being myself. This is who I am." She's Paimon's just Paimon. Like, you need to.
That's bad. Like, that was actually a pretty good Paimon, though.
Thanks. Talking about yourself in a third person is a pretty automatic saying of like you're a shitbag. I think Paimon gets a little bit better as you go further in that game, just because she starts to shut up a little bit more. But she leaves a really bad first impression. And there's like a running joke that you're considering eating Paimon, or Paimon thinks you're considering eating her, and part of me is just like, yeah, I kind of wish you could just go away.
Is this why Paimon's in a bowl of food here in this picture?
Probably.
People
think about
eating. I submitted Avery, okay, because you two don't get to experience Avery. Neither one.
Because you both played Shield, right?
I played Shield.
Johnny and I were sword.
This steampunk motherfucker. Want to be? It's like pick. Like, are you a hippie? Are you steampunk hippie? Are you just an asshole? Like,
he's psychic, right? Like
he's psychic.
Psychic. And Johnny, you and I had I forgot the girl's name, but she was poison based, I believe.
Yeah.
With she sucked, but she was fine.
She's fine.
Yeah. She's just like another kind of semi-shitty rival.
It's bad. It's really, and the problem is, and the reason that Paimon wins this is that there's no way in hell that Game Freak did not write Avery to be just a piece of shit rival. Because like, I think that they've gotten away in some of the later Pokemon games from like that rival more of a like person that, I don't know if they're like, if I believe that you have rivals in these games as much as you used to. I think that they made conscious efforts to move away from that mentality. Avery is returned to form. Avery is a fucking rival. They go out of their way to make sure that you are always in the worst light. They do all kinds of shitty stuff. I think outside of all that, just the over persona and personality of Avery fucking sucks. But Paimon wins because Paimon is inherently a good character.
Paimon is Paimon. That's exactly right. And that makes her bad.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. We have a few more matches in this first round here. These next two are both Nintendo characters. We have Slippy Toad from the Star Fox franchise, and we have Fee. What's her name? Fee from Legend of Zelda: Skyward Sword, which is being remade for your Switch. Aren't you excited? Play with Fee?
Chase, this here Slippy Toad picture is what got Sarah, my wife, to feel bad.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
She's like, why is he so bad?
You know what? I agree with her. I'm here to say Slippy Toad ain't so bad. Like, yeah, Slippy's not the best pilot. He gets into trouble sometimes. That's about it. He's just like, hey, Fox,
right?
He is. He's a total sweetheart, and just sometimes he's like, Fox, help me. And he says it maybe a little bit more annoying than that.
Okay.
A little more annoying, but he just asked for help a couple of times during the games.
It's
not a big deal.
It's Fee. Slippy at least gives you a readout of enemy shields.
Totally.
I hated Fee.
Slippy does something. Fee is Navi.
Is it? I think it's Fee, right?
Steroids.
That's how we say it?
Yeah.
I think that's it. Yeah.
You're the master. You're the one who knows shit.
I'm the master sword. She's the master sword.
Yes, I did know that for some reason. Like she is worse than Navi in the hey, listen, let's stop the action and let me tutorialize you.
Oh god, that game! Right? Why are they remastering that game?
Because they don't have the other one done yet.
Hey,
Fee is a good dancer.
So here's the worst 3D Zelda game.
I don't have a dog in that fight. I haven't played enough of them, but I would imagine it's probably Skyward Sword.
Yeah, probably so. Probably so.
So Fee wins?
Fee wins. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe we'll talk a little bit more about Fee as we continue on into the next round. Our next matchup is going to be a hot one. We have Tiny Tina from Borderlands 2 and 3 specifically. She's not.
The moment has arrived.
And Mindy from Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. I feel like I know where the panel wants to go, but I also feel like you guys don't know who Mindy is.
I do know who Mindy is, and I know that you did this to stack the deck.
Well, this specific one, I stacked the deck just to make like an easy, a relatively easy pick. But let me just make a quick case for Mindy. Mindy is a random trainer in a village in Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, and she, like, when you go into these houses, sometimes the trainers there want to make a trade. Yeah, sure, they'll trade you a Pokemon. Great, whatever. She has a Haunter to trade, and you're thinking, hey, if you're a solo player like me, especially when I was playing Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, Pearl or Diamond specifically, I'm thinking, hey, this is a free Gengar, right? Because Haunter only evolves into Gengar when you trade it. Sweet. They've never done this before. That's awesome. It's great that they've allowed that. You make the trade. I forgot what she wants in return, and you get this Haunter, and it doesn't evolve. You're like, what the fuck? And then you take a look at that Haunter, and that Haunter's holding an Everstone, a stone that doesn't allow Pokemon to evolve. And then you talk to Mindy again, and she goes, I had it hold an Everstone. Like, yeah, bitch, I know.
No, she said, I have the actual dialogue pulled up.
Yeah.
Did my Haunter turn into something else? Just kidding. She sucks.
Real dick move. It's a real dick
move.
And even worse, because it's one of those trainer trades, it'll have a dumb name. And we all know that we are anti naming Pokemon.
I mean,
on this podcast.
Who wants a Haunter named Johnny? I certainly don't.
Damn,
I don't.
You're damn right. You're damn right. Like bad, just bad all around. She sucks. I mean, she's a meme. She's a meme suck. But Tiny Tina wins. We know. We know this. Let's talk about Tiny Tina in the next round, and let's just say we know.
We know.
Tiny Tina.
We know.
But I think Mindy's a real dick move by the developers, and I kind of love it. I kind of love how much of a dick move it is, but also a dick move. Moving on, we have the Cryptarch, or also known as Master Rahul from Destiny 1 and 2.
All right.
And we have Preston Garvey from Fallout 4. Bobby, I believe you are the one who nominated both of these, so I would like you to state your case on both.
Preston?
Preston's the one that's always telling you there's more work to be done. There's another settlement to build, or all
He's
that
the
bullshit.
Black guy with the hat and the trench coat.
Yeah, from Fallout 4. There's
what's
basically
he the leader of? What's his?
He's he's like essentially your princess is in another castle. Look, it's
right.
Yes.
I don't think that he does a good job. He comes to your bat he's fine. He's just one dimensional. It's a meme, right? He's a meme. He's been memed.
Yes. It's an annoying thing. It is
right.
So here's the thing. I almost put Roman from Grand Theft Auto 4 on this list for very much the same reason. It is one thing of him calling out, "Cousin, let's go bowling," and it's like, Yep. We know the meme. We get it. You're very annoying, and I think Preston has the very same space of telling you about more shit, more settlements that are under attack, and like, yeah, buddy, we get it. That's the game.
We get it.
He does it into the ground. What's your problem with Master Rahul?
Oh my god, fuck him first of all. So the Cryptarch has been a thorn in my side for years, and let's not even get started on how this piece of shit would somehow turn exotic engrams into legendaries when they were already fucking difficult to get.
Let's make like you have an issue with Luke Smith.
His stupid fucking tell me, Guardian, when warlocks sleep, do they dream of like his stupid fucking banter the entire time, and then he's like, oh, we're gonna make the Cryptarch more useful because he's obviously not good at decrypting engrams. He's fucking terrible at that. All those shaders that we didn't know how to get rid of, we're going to let him help out with it. But I got news for you. He sucks at that too. This motherfucker can't win. The only good thing about the Cryptarch is his fucking mask that you get, because I can wear that and at least get blown to bits by somebody in the game. Fuck him and fuck his job because he sucks at it. He wins hands down.
It sounds like your problem is more with Destiny 1 Master Rahul than Destiny 2 Master Rahul.
One and the same.
I think they've done
one and the same.
I think, well, I mean, they're the same character, but Destiny 2 does not have exotic engrams.
You know what I do? I go all the way to the farm to turn shit in just to avoid his dumbass. That's how much I hate him. Oh, I got a prime engram.
More of a Tyra Karn, I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna go see Tyra Karn because she'll at least keep her mouth shut.
All right.
You can still go to the farm.
Yeah, you can absolutely go to the farm.
Yeah,
it's great. Mm-hmm.
Master Rahul wins.
I guess I'm with you because I think Preston is fine. He's honestly not that big of a deal. But I do want to say I think it's really just Destiny 1 Master Rahul. I think Destiny 2 Master Rahul they have more or less fixed. He's still, if you stand by him, and I think this goes for anyone, if you stand by them and just are in a menu, they'll just keep giving you dialogue quips, and all of them are bad. And that goes for every character. I have stood next to Hawthorne too many times where it's just doing something with your clan today, and it's like, shut up. I don't care. I don't
you
care
just never know when to quit, do you?
Oh my god.
You just don't know when to quit. You just never quit, do you?
Exactly.
You just don't know when to quit, do you?
All right.
Just give me that fucking give me my bounty. Just give me my bounty.
Yeah, go back to giving me Trials of the 9 rewards when you were cool, Hawthorne.
Hey, Guardian, any good things in your clan lately? You just never know when to quit, do you? Jesus.
Pretty bad. Honestly, she probably should have been on here instead of Cryptarch, but I respect it. All right,
you just never know when to quit, do you?
Bobby also doesn't know when to quit. We've got 2 more matchups here. The next one is Conrad Werner from Mass Effect, from the Mass Effect franchise, and Waluigi from Mario franchise.
Waluigi.
I think you guys are wrong here.
I saw a video recently of Waluigi performing WAP, and that really did it for me. It's Waluigi.
No, it's
WAP. That's not WAP. God damn it.
That's a WAP. That's a WAP. That's a WAP. It's pretty good.
That's not Waluigi's fault. That's somebody else's fault for putting Waluigi in that situation. I would say Waluigi hasn't had enough time to suck. I would say he hasn't gotten the opportunity to suck.
He sucks so bad they haven't even put him in Smash Brothers.
Exactly. Well, he's an assist trophy, but like he's fine.
Chat says he was born to be a dick. He can't help it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He's not bad. He's drawn that way.
Intentionality. Conrad Werner, also intentional, but sucks. Here's the reason I probably hate Conrad Werner more than most. When I started playing Mass Effect 1, I have blonde hair. It's been blonder. So I made my Commander Shepard have blonde hair, have goatee. You look fine. I'm just going around the Citadel, and here's this motherfucker who looks just like me. And you're like, hey, I'm Conrad Werner. I'm such a big fan. And it comes around. Does it come around in Mass Effect 2 or Mass Effect 3 where he actually tries to be you? Like he tries to fake that he is you. Mass Effect 3. And I knew it wasn't on purpose because it's been 3 games at this point. But also, like, there's a little part in my brain that went, did they like just tweak enough things when you built your Shepard to make does Conrad Werner change? Is he dynamic for everyone where he looks enough like Commander Shepard but with a couple of different traits? Because when you get to the point where he's like, hey, I'm actually Commander Shepard, like, no, I get why people would say that because you look just like me, but you're not, and fuck you. And I guess it's not the case. Like that's the way he always looks.
Yeah.
But to me, there was like a special shittiness of him going around being like, I'm Commander Shepard.
Sounds like that was your fault for changing the base Shepard because
I should have just been
he's not
because Neil Shepard sucks, but
he's not trying to be a dick. Waluigi is designed to be a dick, so based off of our rules, it should probably be Conrad Werner that goes forward.
I think Conrad Werner is.
I have no real strong feelings.
Yeah, we can put Conrad forward.
Okay. I think it's. I have a personal vendetta against Conrad Werner.
Yeah,
but he is
fair.
awful. And then our last matchup from the first round.
You son of a bitch! You son of a bitch!
This one's going to be close. I gotta say, I think this is probably the closest matchup we have here. We have the Z block from Tetris, and we have the S block from Tetris.
You contrarian son of a bitch!
Which is worse?
The Z block.
What's your problem? So Bobby submitted Z block. Bobby, are you saying that I intentionally put S block in there and also manipulated the tournament so that these two would face off in the end of the first round?
Yes.
Bobby, I'm hurt that you think that I would do something so calculated. That's not me. Everyone knows.
S is overrated.
Everyone knows it takes 2 to.
Chat says S is overrated. The Z block, it just bothers me.
We think S wins. That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that people are saying the S block is the worst block.
It's overrated. They're not saying if it's worse. They're just saying it's overrated.
So they're not characters. They're puzzle pieces.
That's where you're hung up.
Canonically worse. One of them is definitely.
I personally feel making a turn with the Z block is a lot more frustrating.
How do you turn in Tetris?
Clockwise.
How do you specifically turn? You go clockwise? Mm-hmm. I go counterclockwise. So I would say Z is not a big of a deal to me. Not that it matters. It literally doesn't change.
Yeah. I look. You can
This is
flip
a
a
bad
coin
argument.
here.
Bad art.
It's
You want to
dumb.
flip a coin? I don't have a coin. You got a coin? Let's flip a coin. That's fun. Here, I'll use this notebook. The writing side of the non-writing side. Writing side will be Z block.
Okay.
Non-writing side will be S block. S block wins.
All right.
Okay.
S block wins.
You know what? Z is a better letter than S. Straight up. So
Sure.
So I think S block's first. Just
I have a Z in my last name, so
I have a Z in my actual first name, but
And you have a Z in your other name because I call you Chase.
gross. You guys want to take a break?
Let's take a break.
It's been a bit. We finished round 1. We can take a quick break, come right back up, and we'll do the rest of this tournament.
Hey, we'll be back, chat. Don't go anywhere. And let me get the mic.
Sounds good.
All right, Chase. I think we are good to go. Let me see if I got this
All right.
bracket pulled up here. Trying to zoom in a little bit.
Let's quickly go through the bracket. Let's say all the characters who've made it through, and then also that first round was long, but this gets shorter and faster as we go. Now we've talked about all the characters at
Hey.
least once, and fewer battles. Well, this should go relatively quickly, I'll say, for the rest. But let's go down this list. Who has made it to round 2? We have Karth Onasi from Star Wars Knights of the Republic, Morgana from Persona 5, Ashley Graham from Resident Evil 4, Bubsy from Bubsy, Aiden Pierce from Watch Dogs, Whisper from Fable, Duke Nukem from Duke Nukem, Chico from Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker and Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes, Zipper from Animal Crossing New Horizons, Natalia Simonova from 007 GoldenEye, Paimon from Genshin Impact, Fi Fofum from Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. Oh God, I made a mistake here. I put Mindy down. It should have been Tiny Tina. I will fix that.
Oh my God.
This is why we do these things. This is why we do these things.
Can you correct it? Yeah, perfect.
It's correct. We're good. Tiny Tina from Borderlands, the Cryptarch, Master Rahul from Destiny 1 and 2, specifically Destiny 1. Conrad Werner from the Mass Effect franchise, and the S Block from the Tetris franchise. Okay. You guys ready to jump back in?
Yeah, feeling good.
Okay. As we're jumping back in, I would like to ask chat, did we miss anybody? We only have 32 here. We mentioned some maybe like dishonorable mentions and somebody like Roman. As we go through this, throw out anybody you think we totally missed on who might have a chance in this bracket, and maybe we'll talk about them as we go on.
Turkish
Let's
Jive.
move into who?
Turkish Jive, worst character of all time.
Is that from a thing?
I wish he was a character because, then he would be fictional. But sadly, he is all too real.
He's just a sad clown. He's a person in our chat right now. Friend of the show, friend of me of the show, Turkish Jive.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Let's move on with our first match of round 2. Karth Onasi against Morgana.
So we got Karth, for anybody who needs a little reminder. And then
I think they're both shitty in very similar ways.
Yeah.
In that they are a character you get very early, like the first party member you get, who are constantly telling you what to do or what you should do, and are not actually all that useful when they're in your party.
I really dislike Morgana. Like really, really, really dislike Morgana. And maybe there's some recency bias right now. Because I've been playing Strikers, and just like that, like PTSD from all the things I hated about Morgana's coming back. Chat did just throw in a name, Albert Wesker.
Okay, from Resident Evil.
Mm-hmm.
He's big bad from a lot of them. I can see it. I have not played enough Resident Evil to really know Wesker all that well. I think the most I know about Wesker is from Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Where he's actually a pretty fun character to use. But I could see Wesker being bad. I don't know if he makes our list because I just don't think we have enough experience with him.
I think Karth does some pretty annoying things. But I don't know. I would say Morgana wins this one for me.
Yeah, I can see it. I mean, I think they both are the weakest characters of their respective games.
Did you just do a drive? What the hell did your son just do?
We'll drive by. It's nice.
I think he's going to get some pajamas, and rather than walk through the kitchen and around the hallway, he cut through the office.
Can't do that. Yeah. There is a pretty good joke in Persona 5 Strikers, where that first night Morgana's like, "Hey, maybe we should go to bed." And like, I get it. That's what you did all that time. And like it's a knowing thing, and at the same time it's like, yeah, that sucked. That really did. Sucked.
It's Morgana for me, man. It's Morgana.
Yeah, Morgana.
Yeah, I think Morgana has more far-reaching implications in his game. Also, Morgana should be a girl. I don't know. Like the voice is girlish enough. It throws me off that Morgana is a boy and is pining after On. It's just a little gross. I'm not a big Morgana fan. I like that voice actor though. I think that she does some other really great stuff. Sothis from Fire Emblem Three Houses. Like she's done good work. Just don't like Morgana.
That's fair.
Morgana moves on.
Next up is Ashley Graham versus Bubsy. We had some pretty passionate opinions about Ashley Graham. None of us have actually played a Bubsy game. Am I correct?
No, I'm trying to get both of them on here a little bit. I've not played Bubsy. No, maybe if I have, it's been a long time ago and I don't recall it. So here's Ashley. And I think that we established that she's continuing a trope that we don't like. Bubsy, just all around, it's like
I
go
don't
deliver
think Bubsy was intended to be that. Like, they were trying to make a mascot character, and they failed completely and utterly.
Mm-hmm.
And I just get upset when I see any gameplay of Bubsy, and so I feel like Bubsy wins.
Chat really does not like Bubsy's face at all.
No, they're right. I mean, I think if you just look at the two characters, I automatically have a totally. But like if you just look at the two characters without really knowing anything about them, hell yeah, Bubsy wins every time. He's look at that dumbass. I think what gets Bubsy for me,
Bubsy smells like jewels, doesn't it?
Probably. I think what gets Bubsy for me is that he has died, or as Johnny said, like he was this character that I think was built somewhat in earnest when he first came out, trying to get that Sonic the Hedgehog, we have a platformer character with attitude kind of thing, and it obviously didn't work, and he died for a while. He was gone, and then they brought him back as he's now this parody character.
They fished a bloated corpse out of the river
that
he was in, and somehow brought him back to life.
They are Weekend at Bernie's in him, and it's sad. And they're just stuffing him with more crappy lines of dialogue. It's bad. It's bad.
He sucks. He wins.
I think he wins, but what's going to stop him from winning this whole damn thing is that we just don't have a lot of personal Bubsy experience. And I think when we get to characters that have wronged us more personally, Bubsy is probably going to fall.
For now, Bubsy goes forward. Bubsy goes on.
Look at his dumb face. Just look at his dumb face.
He's got such a dumb face.
Moving on, Aiden Pierce versus Whisper. Johnny, you seem pretty confident that Aiden Pierce is awful.
You're the protagonist in the game. The character that you play should be someone that you do not loathe every moment you have to spend with this person. Even when you're playing as a bad guy, I guess, like someone who, in Fallout or Skyrim or whatever, like you weren't more embodying that character, I guess. But when you have a character that's fully fleshed out and written for you, you're just
what's his motivation? Like, is his daughter or his sister or something's in trouble?
Nephew gets
Hot Topic gift certificates.
But he's the fucking worst. I can't stand him. And I think it's more upsetting because, like I said, there's no escaping Aiden Pierce. So even though he
almost ruined the series.
Yeah. So
like that says a lot to me there. Like
if you guys say it goes the other way, that's fine.
It doesn't.
I'll make my peace with it.
Yeah, like Bobby, you're I think the only one really advocating for Whisper. Yeah. You don't even think that stands up to the Aiden.
No, I mean I think it's pretty noticeable too. I mean, like if you asked, right, like you didn't recognize Whisper, but if I said Aiden Pierce, you would know exactly who that was. And I think that there's something very much about just the way that this character was written. Like there's good in Whisper. Whisper's annoying, but there's good there. Aiden Pierce is just a shitty character.
And if you ask me, like, what do you think of Fable? I would say, like, oh yeah, I really liked Fable. I thought that game was really cool. I wouldn't even consider Whisper until way down the line. Like there were so many other things I enjoyed about that game, and she just kind of washed over me. Whereas, I think Johnny's got a good point. When he's the protagonist, it's really hard to ignore your shittiness.
Yep.
Speaking of protagonists who are really shitty, Duke Nukem versus Chico. I know I made a pretty impassioned case about Chico, but it's Duke Nukem. Yeah, it's Duke Nukem. It's very clearly Duke Nukem.
It's Duke Nukem.
We don't even have to check the chat. It's
Nope.
Duke Nukem.
Just Duke Nukem.
All right, let's move on. We have Zipper from Animal Crossing and Natalia Simonova from 007 GoldenEye.
Okay, I know I'm the one that put Natalia on the list.
But
You
you're
both
not.
did.
We both
You both
did.
did.
Oh.
And
okay.
I would have put her on here anyway, but yes, we all somewhat nominated Natalia. I believe I'm the only one who put Zipper in here, knowing how we felt about Zipper, knowing how you felt about Zipper.
I could go either way. I think that Natalia is just from a time when maybe they didn't know how to design NPCs that you're supposed to interact with in some way in a 3D FPS, and Zipper is just a thing that needs to be destroyed. He
yeah, and maybe if it wasn't my first Animal Crossing and my first event in an Animal Crossing.
So there's this moment in American Psycho in the book where Patrick Bateman goes to a U2 concert, and he locks eyes with Bono, and in that moment he realizes that he and Bono are the same. That is Zipper. I get that same vibe. Like if Patrick Bateman looked at Zipper, like, wow, they're just like me. You know, Zipper is
right into Zipper's eyes and said, "Uno, dos, tres, catorce."
Yeah. Well, yeah.
1, 2, 3, 14.
Yep.
God damn it, Bono. I think it's Natalia. You heard me say I don't think Zipper did anything wrong. I think you guys are way overblowing Zipper. I put him on here knowing the passion that you had, but Natalia's the right choice here. Natalia.
Yeah. It's Natalia.
Okay. Natalia sucks. All right. Paimon, who I believe is Paimon.
Chat says Zipper prefers early Huey Lewis and the News.
I think that's fair. Paimon versus Fee.
Yeah.
They're both bad. They're both bad.
Again,
Fee turned into something cool.
Yeah, I think Paimon, like Fee is. It's the same opinion I have about the entirety of Skyward Sword. Great lore, terrible video game. And I think Fee is just trapped in a terrible video game, but there's something really cool about the embodiment that Fee becomes the sword. I think there's something cool about that for sure. But the journey to that is a bit rough. And it's like the Magikarp, like not very useful for a very long time and then very, very, very useful later game.
What's Fee's story? How do you meet Fee?
I don't even remember.
Fee, shit. I think that there's a tower in the first town that, if I remember correctly, Fee is the spirit that will later be hardened into the sword, and it goes through 3 variations. But I think you meet Fee at the first town. I think there's a tower, like a spirit tower or something, if I'm not mistaken, and that's where Fee lives. But I probably it's been a while since I played that game, so I might have fucked that up there. But it's something
so
to that
she is
degree.
with you like really early and throughout pretty much the entire game.
It's like a Navi type thing,
right? Even when she becomes the Master Sword, she still tutorializes you. Like she still takes her Fee form and talks to you about shit.
Because you're holding the sword the wrong way, and you have to hold your no.
Okay, it'd be pretty great if every time you held the Master Sword in the wrong hand, she would say like, "Nope, not that one.
Yep,
Link's not left-handed this time."
Nope. No,
all right, so we're saying Paimon's worse.
Paimon's worse.
Yep.
I guess I'm okay with that. Paimon really sucks.
Fee has some grace according to chat.
Okay. I haven't seen it. I've played with her in Hyrule Warriors, Hyrule Legends, Hyrule Warriors,
Hyrule Warriors. Yeah,
the first one, not Age of Calamity. And I mean she's fine in that because she's just another character. Okay, we have Tiny Tina and the Cryptarch, Master Rahul.
So can I just say this?
You didn't say the name of the other one.
You know how much I just talked about Rahul, right?
Yep.
And I feel pretty strongly here that it's Tiny Tina.
Yep. Master Rahul, even if he turns your exotic into a legendary, you still get a legendary. Like, you're still getting something out of him. He has value. He adds to the experience.
I can hear Bobby's teeth grinding through the microphone.
Yeah,
It's Tiny.
Damn it.
Tiny Tina wins this one. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Tiny Tina. Moving on. Next we have the final match of round 2, and that's Conrad Werner versus the S block of Tetris. So I'm gonna say that Johnny over here, based on what he said last time, is like, "Oh, S block's not a character." That you're kind of like default say Conrad Werner's worse. Is that what I'm hearing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Bobby, you have any thoughts on that?
I mean, the S block's no Z block, but it's still pretty bad. I don't think Conrad's that annoying. I also am bald, and when I did have hair, it was black. So,
yes, you did not have the personal vendetta that I did against Conrad Werner, which I can understand.
Do you think Conrad Werner is hanging out in Margaritaville? This dude looks like he's at a Jimmy Buffett concert.
Oh, he's a huge parrot head.
I could see that.
He's looking for his salt shaker.
Yep.
Yeah.
Having a cheeseburger in paradise.
I don't know if that endears me to him or makes me hate him more.
No, more. Jimmy Buffett's the fucking worst.
Yeah, that's more. It's more. It's more.
I mean, I do like cheeseburgers, and I do like sunshine.
Right.
Tetris is one of my favorite games of all time, and I hate the S and Z blocks.
Mass Effect is also one of your favorite games of all time.
But what I'm saying is,
if we sat here and just talked about your favorite games of all time, we'd be here all year long, baby.
But
because
Johnny
your top
talks
5
about
games of all time.
He
are
talks
every
about.
Game
Did
ever
you say my
made.
top 5 games of all time?
Games.
Oh, I was like, what? Johnny, who quote unquote loves Halo and quote unquote loves Mass Effect, doesn't know who Conrad Werner is, and didn't know
who 343 Guilty Spark is.
I know who 343 Guilty Spark is.
I didn't hear it.
Has been well over a decade since I played any of those Halo campaigns.
So I think again, Chase, I will default to you here because you're the one who's got the story.
Yeah, I mean, if it's up to me, it's Conrad. Okay. I like the Tetris blocks are all fine.
Okay,
they're fine. Conrad's a pretty shitty dude. Like accidentally shitty, but still shitty.
Okay.
All right, let's move on to round 3. This is where it gets getting pretty tight here. We only have what do we got? 8 characters here. Morgana against Bubsy. See, here's where I'm saying I don't think we have enough of a personal experience or
I would say Morgana
to really know
over Bubsy.
Yeah. Morgana has wronged us.
Yeah,
wronged us all.
I just don't like the way Bubsy looks.
He sucks.
Oh God,
he super sucks. If I had played a Bubsy game, I think Bubsy could go all the way. But I haven't played a Bubsy game, and I think that actually works in his favor. Okay,
maybe I've just consumed a lot more Bubsy YouTube videos than one man should.
Okay, see, this is where we can go. If you feel like you've seen a significant enough amount of Bubsy to say definitively he is worse than Morgana, I'm willing to hear that argument. You got to tell me something good about Morgana, though.
I mean, Morgana is, still a part of your crew and well-intentioned and trying to save the world. Bubsy is just a piece of shit incarnate, and it's...
Bubsy has the worst catchphrases according to chat.
Oh, I believe that. 100%.
Yeah. I've watched a lot of... I've watched a couple YouTube videos about like Bubsy 3D World, and I watched a lot of Giant Bomb play the most recent Bubsy game.
Yeah, I watched that too.
It is shockingly offensive and just
Like not even like directly offensive, but like offending to the senses, offending to good taste.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like Bubsy's saying racist shit out there.
It's
just
done.
that it's awful.
And someone decided, hey, we should make a new Bubsy game, and they did it, and somehow they found someone willing to fund this project. And look, if you guys feel it's Morgana, I
think Johnny's making a strong case here.
He says Bubsy has the worst catchphrases as someone who's played it on SNES. Hey, whatever blows your hair back is a catchphrase from Bubsy.
Okay, you know what? I am also leaning towards Bubsy because there's a specific match I want to see in the semifinals, and we can talk about worst catchphrases ever.
Okay.
All right.
So, Bobby, are you okay with us going Bubsy on this one?
Yeah.
I don't hate Morgana. Morgana is a nuisance.
I think I hate Morgana initially, and then I'm like, okay, Morgana's
Morgana.
fine.
We hardly knew thee.
Hey, whatever blows your hair back.
Hey, whatever blows your hair back, guys.
All right. Next up is Aiden Pierce versus Duke Nukem.
Duke Nukem.
Okay.
Duke Nukem fucking sucks. God, he sucks.
We heard some very impassioned things about how bad Aiden Pierce was.
He is bad.
For you guys to instantly say Duke Nukem,
I will.
I trust it.
Repeat what I said. Like he is.
Duke Nukem is the type of person that yells at fast food workers.
I said it once. I'll say it again. He would have been in the Capitol on January 6th and not fighting.
That's a really terrible thing to say.
Duke Nukem is the type of guy that would eat half of an appetizer platter from Applebee's and then send it back saying it wasn't done right.
Shit. Okay.
Duke Nukem is the type of person that would yell at his significant other for trying to eat some of their food.
Are you just finding Chuck Norris facts and replacing
No,
Chuck Norris?
I'm just saying how much I hate Duke Nukem.
Yeah.
Duke Nukem is the type of guy that pisses all over a toilet seat and doesn't clean any of his piss up.
Yeah.
Natalia
next?
Simonova versus Paimon.
Paimon.
I'd be okay with that.
I've got way more of a history of hating Natalia than I do Paimon.
I mean, I think there's maybe some recency bias for sure going on Paimon. Paimon really sucks, though.
Paimon sucks.
I might have played more Genshin Impact if Paimon wasn't there.
So, Paimon is... Right here, buddy. Yeah, I mean, Paimon, look, that's a personality. And I think Natalia is a mechanic. And I think that those are things that, like... Because, I mean, obviously, her interactions aren't...
But I still like GoldenEye.
Yeah.
I think Paimon kind of ruined Genshin Impact for me, as well as the monetization. But
it's Paimon. Natalia's annoying, and honestly, like she's not on the list anymore. But if I would pick
Ashley Graham versus Natalia.
It'd be Ashley Graham. Yeah, 100%.
I agree with you.
Okay.
All right. Congratulations to Paimon. And final Elite 8 matchup here. We have Tiny Tina versus Conrad Werner. I'm going to say I feel like we were on the edge. We were right between on Conrad Werner or S Block, and we're still pretty sure on Tiny Tina. So I think she's moving on. Am I correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Fuck yeah.
Okay. All right. We're going to have that conversation at some point, though.
I think that we're going to have to very soon. I think the next one is that conversation.
Okay. Moving on to the semifinals, we have... Oh man, these are some bad characters. Like all four of these are pretty fucking bad. We have Bubsy against Duke Nukem.
God damn it!
All right, chat. Chat did say this. Chat said
where's
this.
Where's our chatter who said the worst catchphrases? Because I've got a new contender for you, buddy.
No, he goes. Though his personality sucks, Duke at least has a personality.
His personality is an amalgamation of different catchphrases from different action movies. He is a construct. He has no personality. That was the joke. is he just reiterates all these stupid lines from.
And you don't think Bubsy's the same thing?
Army
I
of
would say
Darkness.
Bubsy's the same thing, except replace action movies with shitty cartoon characters, like, or not shitty cartoon characters, but just cartoon characters being shitty.
He's
like,
dude, this
Bubsy-
picture, the iconic Duke Nukem picture is him trying to say, "This gun's my cock." Like, he's just fucking terrible. Like, everything about this dude fucking sucks. And I think this much, like, I think, not to like turn it down this alley, but it'd probably be a lot harder in 2021 to greenlight something with Duke Nukem than it would be to greenlight something with Bubsy, based off of just character personalities as well. And not only does this dude suck,
because there's been a more recent Bubsy game than there has been a more recent.
this dude is 100% one of the reasons that the attitudes that we're trying to circumvent in a lot of other places exist. Like, those types of fucking privileges that existed are 100% the road paved for Duke Nukem to walk on. And like, there's just no way. There's no way that Duke Nukem could be a thing right now.
Yeah. Tell me you couldn't Photoshop a MAGA hat on that man's head and people wouldn't be like, yeah, that tracks.
Yeah, like, look, right, wrong, or indifferent, this piece of shit sucks. He's one-dimensional. I mean, fuck, Bubsy is too, though, probably. Mm-hmm. Both were made to be by commodity, but Bubsy is more poochy than Duke ever will be.
Yep, that's true.
I think it's Duke Nukem. I think Bubsy's shittiness only reverberates so far, and I think it's people have to strain to remember Bubsy and then go, oh yeah, Bubsy sucks. Yeah. Whereas I think Duke Nukem is like an off the cuff, I know who that is, and fuck that guy.
They could not do, so I'm going to call it the God of War treatment, okay? You couldn't give the God of War treatment to Duke Nukem, but you could give the God of War treatment to Bubsy.
I don't know what the fuck that means. What does that mean?
Like, taking a character who's very like one-dimensional, is like, hey, Kratos, he's just real mad and he wants to kill these guys, and then in 2018 they make a game. Wait,
what if they made 2018 Duke Nukem where Bubsy was Duke Nukem's son and he had to take Bubsy to the top of the Empire State Building to
throw him off?
I hate this.
I don't think that. I think that you could find, like, they could rewrite Bubsy in like the era of like, you can't fucking change Duke Nukem. You can't make Duke Nukem not Duke Nukem. There's no redemption arc for Duke Nukem. Bubsy.
Yeah, I think you could say the same thing about Bubsy. I think Duke Nukem is definitely worse.
They said, chat says Bubsy 3. They did Bubsy 3D. He had his shot.
I think I'm gonna vote Duke. That dude sucks.
I also am voting Duke. I think Duke wins. I'm sorry, chat. Everything chat has said is correct about Bubsy.
Yeah.
But Duke is worse.
Duke's worse.
But Duke is just worse.
Yeah.
It's got to be Duke. All right. We've got Paimon.
Tiny Tina.
From Genshin Impact. And Tiny Tina. Bobby said he thought this was the time to have the conversation about Tiny Tina. Is that true? Or like, is there an actual battle here or not? Do we think Paimon has any chance?
I don't.
And Chad also pointed out that I don't know how many chances they gave Bubsy, which is true. I really don't. Look, it's Tiny Tina here, and we're gonna have the conversation next. I said it would be here. Yeah. It's Tiny Tina.
Tiny Tina. Yep.
I tend to agree with you. I will say the one point in Tiny Tina's favor is that she is not constantly with you the entire game, either of the games that she's in.
But
whereas Paimon is a constant.
But
dude,
Tiny Tina.
But it's Tiny Tina. I think you're right. Has chat said anything about Tiny Tina?
Not a word. Not a word about Tiny Tina.
Okay. Okay.
And again,
maybe they
I'll say this much, like what I said about Claptrap. People fucking love Tiny Tina. They love Tiny Tina.
I had a friend at my old job who was surprised at how much I hated Tiny Tina, and also just Borderlands in general.
All right, guys, it's time to have a conversation. We've danced around it, but this is time. Like we're touching on it here when we should just get into it. It's time for the finals. Our final two: Duke Nukem and Tiny Tina. I do want to mention before we actually get into the real debate here. Both of these characters are tied to Gearbox in one way or another.
True.
So congratulations, Gearbox!
Yay!
Chat did ask, does Tiny Tina want to be eaten?
No, she just wants to have a tea party and explode some shit.
So I think that the whole thing with Borderlands, and I'm gonna draw this. Oh wow, the chat says Handsome Jack is the worst overall Borderlands character.
Incorrect. Handsome Jack sucks. Handsome Jack is the second worst Borderlands 2 character, and he's only in Borderlands 2, so he can only suck for one game.
There's not a good way for me to have this conversation without coming across as somebody who's dealing in absolutes and somebody who is belittling people's personalities down to something. But I will say this much. I find the humor of Borderlands to be fucking boring and so try hard.
Of all Borderlands? Or
Borderlands 2 specifically. Okay. And Borderlands 3.
And 3. And
3 gets three's worse.
3 is where they lost me.
So
I'm kind of with you. Like, I think 1 is a legitimately fun game. It was really new and interesting at the time.
Oh yeah.
I think if I went back to Borderlands 1 now, I would say a lot of these jokes are really corny and they fall flat. But at the time, which was a long time ago at this point, I think a lot of those jokes landed pretty well.
Yeah. For sure.
I love Borderlands 1. I had a very good time with Borderlands 1. Borderlands 2, I remember thinking everything about playing the game, great.
Chat says play a good Borderlands game like Tales.
Yeah, sure. Tales from the Borderlands. I've played a few chapters of that. Also has a lot of Handsome Jack content in it, so I guess Handsome Jack's in 2 games. Well, is he in the pre-sequel in some way? He is in the pre-sequel in some way, so 3 games technically. Yeah, Tales from the Borderlands is one of the better Telltale games for sure, and much better written than anything actual Borderlands. Borderlands 2 story is bad. Like it's bad. It's very memeified. There was a double rainbow joke in there.
Tell me,
wasn't even relevant then.
But why do you specifically dislike Tiny Tina? I'd like to hear your take on this. Because you dislike Tiny Tina to the point where any other work that the voice actress does is legitimately kind of knocked down a few pegs in your book because of this.
Absolutely. And I know one of your top 5 games of all time.
Legitimate top 5 games of all time.
Whatever you say. Horizon Zero Dawn. Aloy, star of that game, is also voiced by Ashley
Johnson.
Last name? Is it Johnson? I don't remember. I don't think it is.
It's
Ashley Birch.
Ashley Birch.
Thank you. I thought it was shorter. Yeah. Yeah. Like I don't want to shit on Ashley Birch too much. I personally don't really enjoy the things she does or the things she writes, the YouTube videos she's made, the voices she's done. It's just not my thing. Just not my thing. Even outside of not enjoying her work in general, I just think Tiny Tina is the worst thing ever. She is. It's the problems with Paimon in that annoying pipsqueak voice, like really shrill. Like that sucks to begin with, and then you add in just some real garbage writing that is memey and slangy in all the worst ways of
I'm a little
calling
teapot. Here
yeah,
is
like doing
the top. Here is my butt.
yeah, like just that's not even a joke. That's not even funny.
No.
The way that her dolls, their butts, their badonkadonks, if you will, are missiles and bombs, and the whole point, like she is just such a bolted on thing. You have to go through that one area in Borderlands 2, and you're trying to get on a train, you're trying to get something from a train, and she is just this side activity, and you have to do a number of things for her, and she is just so bolted on that none of that needed to be there.
It's like so I mentioned earlier, I don't want to piss anybody off, but like I can't stand Deadpool. I can't stand that fucking movie. And one of the reasons is that it's the type of humor that is what Deadpool is. And like I'm not saying it's not for me, right? Like, and I know people adore that. And I think Ryan Reynolds has done a great job to keep that dream alive. And I know that people have been wanting that for a long time. And it is what it is. Like, I'm not saying that the movie's done poorly. I'm not saying that he does a bad job with it. But the idea of like, oh, here's this murdering assassin that shits his pants, wears Crocs, like is masturbating all the time. Like that type of humor is just not funny to me.
And fourth wall breaking. And I think that's maybe part of like a philosophical, a comedic philosophy of breaking the fourth wall to give you a little wink and a nod of like, this is funny, right? Wink, wink. And like, it's not. It's really not, though. It's really juvenile. It's really sad.
Yeah.
And for you to purposefully break out of that character, going to go, this is great. And like, no, it's bad, and it sounds like you're asking for applause at this point.
I think,
which is even worse.
Tiny Tina is the type of character that gets written when people are trying to like personify video game culture and like the whole like basement dweller, fucking Mountain Dew chugging, Dorito eating person, like the Tiny Tina stuff, like what they think Tiny Tina would think is funny, like, oh, this is what gamers would think is funny. Like this is humor to them. Chat says Tiny Tina likes D&D. Duke would probably give you an atomic wedgie and ask him to play. If you ask him to play, sorry.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. We have Tiny Tina was so popular that they decided to give her an entire DLC for Borderlands 2. A DLC I did not play because at that point I thought the DLCs for Borderlands 2 pretty bad in general. I thought the Mr. Torg one pretty bad. There was another one after that I don't remember at all that was also bad. And then I believe hers was the third DLC, the third and last DLC, which was what was it? Fucking Bunkers and Badasses is their Dungeons and Dragons equivalent. Which, what's the opposite of a chef kiss? It's like a wet fart.
Explosive diarrhea.
Like even like the whole, oh, we got this character who's crazy. They like talk her up. She's going to be making all these fucking explosives. She's a merc, and then you go up there and it's this 12-year-old girl. And like that's fine.
And also, you're supposed to feel bad for her too, because her parents got killed, and she only lived because her mom gave her a grenade to use. And then once her parents got killed, she used that grenade to cause a distraction and get away. And it's like, oh, she's supposed to be a sympathetic character, and she opens her mouth and she's like, she's not sympathetic. She's just shitty. Like psychotic by design. I'm fine with her being psychotic. She's had trauma. Sure, that's fine. Right. But she's just lame. Everything she says is fucking lame.
It's Tiny Tina for me for a myriad of reasons. And a lot of it comes down to writing, humor, the delivery of it.
We didn't even talk about Borderlands 3.
Where she's just Tina?
Yeah, she's like, what does it say? It's like Tiny No More or something like that. When you first meet her,
chat says they're meh on Tina. Duke is clearly the worst of the two.
That chat has not endured enough Tina to know.
It's Matt.
Let me tell you another story. Let me tell you another story here. Well, then doubly, Matt, I love you, but no, you're incorrect on this one. If it was like one of Bobby's friends, I'd go like, oh, he's just saying what he thinks. When it's Matt, I can say like, no, fuck you, Matt, you're wrong. So Bobby.
Yeah.
You we did a quick look before we started calling them quick looks. For your old channel, Lumberjack Smack.
Yep.
And I watched you play some Borderlands 3. I went over to your house pre-COVID, talked with you as you were playing Borderlands 3, and you made a case to me that, you know what? This game's pretty okay. Like there's some good stuff here. There's the weapon stuff is cool. I like a lot of the stuff that they're
I like
doing
the slide
here.
that they added into it.
Yeah, like this is a game that we could play together.
Yep.
Huh, Bobby, you're right. That might be something.
Because we played Borderlands 1 together. Or Borderlands 2. We played 2. We played Borderlands 2
together.
Yep.
It's like, yeah, you know what? I guess so. I'll buy Borderlands 3. And you know what? Because I'll buy it on an Xbox One, a console that I didn't
That's where I had it. That's where I had it.
That's where you had it. I was being a good friend. I did that. This has nothing to do with Tiny Tina. This part does. I get home, I start Borderlands 3. I know Bobby's ahead of me, so I try to run through very quickly the stuff that I'm in so I can get up to the story parts that Bobby's at, and we can play together. Cool, great. I got there. I got to the end of where he got in the quick look, called it Bobby and said, "Hey, I'm ready. Let's do this." We jump in. We've got to make a pizza. We're told.
Yep.
We're gonna go rescue Sir Hammerlock, who also kind of sucks as a character, but he's relatively harmless. When we have to make a pizza, we get sauce, toppings, dough, other bullshit. I don't know. And then we have to go deliver that pizza. And who do we deliver that pizza to? The
Tina.
first time we're playing together.
Fucking
Me and Bobby,
Tina.
having a great time. Borderlands. Oh yeah. Borderlands is okay. There's some annoying shit in here, but this game's fine, right? It's kind of cool that some of these weapons are here. It's like they're giving out the exotic kind of weapons like pretty freely here. There's some cool shit. Fucking Tina, right
Fucking
there.
Tina.
Immediately.
Fucking
Let's
Tina.
play together. Here's Tina. No.
Nope.
No. Now, Bobby, I have one last question for you.
Yeah.
You'd actually played further than I had, right? You'd already played that part.
Yep.
You knew
Mm-hmm.
before I even came in what was about to happen.
I did. I did.
And you let it happen.
I let it happen. That was me.
You let me buy that game. You let me buy that game for Xbox.
Yep.
You let me grind those hours to get to your part.
Because if I would have told you, it would have
just so
been
we
a
could
no.
play together.
And guess what happened after that?
It would have been a no.
I didn't play anymore with it.
I didn't play anymore at all.
Tina ruined it.
You or anything.
Tina ruined it. She's the worst.
I considered opening my window and chucking that disc because it does about as good to me now as it would. So Tiny Tina is the worst character in all of video games. Full stop. Duke Nukem sucks. Duke Nukem absolutely sucks.
Yeah.
Tiny Tina wins by a landslide.
I mean it was my number one going into this. It's my number one going out of it. It's Tiny Tina.
It's not even fucking close.
Johnny, where are you at with this?
Johnny St. John.
I have the least amount of experience with Tiny Tina.
You're lucky. You're lucky.
I am fine with that.
None of us have played a Duke Nukem game, correct? Have any of us actually played a Duke Nukem game?
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I have not.
I played Duke Nukem forever, a little bit.
Duke Nukem sucks. Tiny Tina sucks. They're perfect for each other.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, one of them's like
congratulations,
much younger than.
Yeah, congratulations to Tina, the artist formerly known as Tiny.
She's the absolute worst. She's the worst character in all video games. Full stop.
Chase.
Full stop.
Appreciate you, my friend. As always, you put together a hell of a deep dive, and this one was a lot of fun. We got to do some really cool shit with this one. I think that worked out all right, having the bracket. That was a really cool tool that we had here. Yeah,
we might do this more. I actually really enjoy this site after using it a little bit. This challenge.com, CHALLNGE. It has some pretty cool tournament features here. It keeps it live. So you can just give a link out to people, and they can just check the link, and it just updates when I was controlling it. Like Bobby had the stream set up here, but I was the one controlling the actual tournament, and it just updated live. It's great. Lots of cool features on there. You can even dig around through some of the settings and do some really interesting things. We might use this again. I had a fun time with this. I loved having chat come in and give their piece, even if it was the wrong piece, Matt. But yeah, let's definitely do something more with this again sometime.
Absolutely.
No, that was a good time. Really appreciate it for sure. I don't know if our social links was working. I was trying to get the cloud bot to work a bit better. Let me see if I can get this to fire up here really quick. There we go. Yeah. It's still not saying better, Johnny. I'll work on that. I got a ticket open. So we're the Casual Hour. This was a deep dive episode. We do these once a month. Over the course of our What You've Been Playing episodes, we'll sprinkle in a preview episode where we tell you about the games that are coming up we're excited for. Deep dives are always more of a dealer choice. So like we pick a topic. It could be anything. It doesn't have to be video game related. It's literally dealer's choice, more of a journalistic approach to showcasing some sort of cool thing that we're into. Chase usually brings the goods. Johnny and I will figure out our way, but he leaves some big shoes to fill. Our show records every Wednesday night, and this episode, if you want to listen to it, or if you know somebody who listens to podcasts, is posted Friday mornings at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time on every platform you can imagine for podcasting. It's powered by Anchor. You can leave us voice memos. You can shoot us a message on any of our social feeds. We're at the Casual Hour across the board. I do some quick looks alongside Chase and Johnny. I stream 2 other nights a week, Mondays and Fridays. Right now I'm kind of doing a Loop Hero Monday and a Valheim Friday. That could be changing up. I know Stubbs is coming out. I've been talking about that on our preview episode, and then we've got Monster Hunter coming out. We're going to do a special stream next week where we talk about the 1-year anniversary of Animal Crossing and do an island tour. So we'll be shooting some stuff out on our social networks around that. I'll throw it up on our Twitch schedule as well. Chase does an awesome podcast that friend of the show, Matt, that has been in chat, has been a part of multiple times, called Gamers on the Go. Chase, why don't you tell everybody about that?
Yeah, I mean, you two have also been on episodes with me. Much appreciated. Yeah, it's a handheld video games podcast. No set schedule. Just kind of whenever I feel like it, I can find a good guest, bring a guest on, and we talk about a game or a franchise or a piece of handheld hardware, and just talk about its legacy, how it was developed, its inspirations, how it plays, any of that kind of stuff. And it's a good time. So gamersonthego.com if you want to go and search any of our previous episodes or write-ups that we do. And then, at GOTG Podcast if you want to tweet the show and tell us a game that you'd like to hear us talk about.
And it'd be fun, too, to get Matt on the show sometime, but also, like, if there's a stream one night, Absolutely. We can... Because we host Matt. Matt does stream also, and we host him here on the channel whenever he's got that going. He does some really cool... Usually kind of like more vintage console stuff.
Yeah, he's playing like some Saturn stuff before, and he's got some great stuff.
But if there's a game that we can all play some night, that'd be a good time. And then Johnny is the father of the group, and him and his son play games together.
Lots of Minecraft together.
And it sounds like Minecraft. I was going to send you something. I found a really cool thing for a resource pack that turns everything into Legos. And so, like, the bottoms of trees and shit look like actual, like, Lego bricks, and it still uses some of the RTX, like, lighting, and it looked like the trees are all plastic and shit. It looks really fucking cool. So there's a really cool resource pack that I think that you and Jude would dig for that. But
is there a mod that makes Valheim into Legos?
There will be soon. There's already some mods starting to come for it as well.
Are any of them make the game good? Can they fix it?
I'll tell you what, this is how good Valheim is. For the last year, I've been begging my cousin to build a PC, much like you, and it took a $20 early access video game to get the man to drop the money on a new PC. So we're proud of him. But yeah, that the base that I've built in Valheim, Chase, is so fucking... It's awesome, but it's so
is that the
big.
One that's just a big cock and balls?
It's kind of a cock and balls. But it causes Jason's computer to just basically shut down. It's that impressive.
Well, it sounds like he didn't get a very good computer.
Well, he doesn't have it yet. This is yeah. So anyway, Johnny, you're playing Minecraft?
Always.
Okay.
In perpetuity.
Look, we appreciate everybody who hung out with
Destiny
us tonight.
me.
That's true too.
I'm very excited for the next episode. Next episode, like Bobby said, it's probably going to be a what you've been playing. We'll get some news. It's been a lot of news coming around. I actually kind of felt bad that we were doing a deep dive tonight, because I think there was some really fun news to talk about. So we'll try to talk about that next week. And then also some cool games. Like I think all of us now have gotten to play some Loop Hero after Bobby talked about it on the show last time.
God, that game fucking rules.
Yeah, we all have some thoughts. So would love to.
Chase came on and helped me.
Guys about that.
I'm better now. I am a Loop Hero.
We'll talk more about Loop Hero and some other games next week, but I'm very excited for that show.
Very cool. Well, we'll be back next week, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time on twitch.tv/The Casual Hour. Play something new, drop us a line in chat, and if you want to play a game with us, hit us up. We got room for everyone. Take care. Later.